What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the all-new 2022 Nissan Pathfinder. Huge shout out and thank you to Flo Nissan of Statesville for providing this new SUV for today's video. Check out their website, links down below. And the model that we're looking at today is an S two-wheel drive, finished off in super black, and has an MSRP at $35,000. Underneath the hood, the all-new Nissan Pathfinder utilizes a 3.5-liter V6 engine. This 6-cylinder pumps out 284 horsepower and 259 pound-feet of torque. It's paired only to a 9-speed automatic transmission and sends the power to the front wheels. With a curb weight around 4,300 pounds and running on an 18.5-gallon fuel tank, you can also expect to get 21 miles per gallon in the city with 26 out on the highway. Overall length is 197.7 inches with wheelbase at 114.2. Width comes in at 77.9 and overall height is 70.9 inches. This also has some off-road capabilities like ground clearance at 7 inches, approach angle at 16.1 degrees, and then departure at 15.6 degrees. And then as far as towing capacities being front-wheel drive, this one maxes out at 3,500 pounds. And then moving to the exterior styling with the all-new Nissan Pathfinder. This has a really clean look overall. There's a lot of sharp lines as well as some smooth body panels. You can see the chrome grille surround to give it a modern, classy appearance, and then we get gloss black within the center portion of the grille. The new Nissan badge even is finished off with some white trim to add some contrast against the gray color. And then if we move our way to the headlights, this has LED daytime running lights up top, LEDs for the headlights and high beams, and then halogen bulbs for your turn signals. You'll see a sharp line in the farthest sides of the front bumper to give it a pretty clean look. And then there's plastic trim in the lower portion with an opening in the center to allow a ton of cooling to the engine. The hood has sharp lines on the left and right side and a really smooth section in the center to really flow all the lines together. I think the front end comes together really nicely. And then moving to the side profile of the new Pathfinder, you can see the black trim around the front fenders, and then this also has a set of 18-inch wheels. They're finished in a metallic gray and have that same new Nissan logo in the center. There's a sharp line in the upper portion of the front fender that fades away towards the mirror, and then it comes back in the rear fender. That really gives us a wider appearance. And then down below in the side skirt, I really love how we even have Pathfinder stamped into this plastic trim. It gives it a pretty sweet look. There's gloss black for the door handles and mirror caps, and even an LED turn signal all integrated into this mirror. There's more black trim around the sides of these windows to blend all the glass seamlessly. And you can even see a cool cutout in the C-pillar. And as we move our way to the rear end, you can see how wide this rear fender arch bulges. I think that's a really good styling touch. In back, we have a massive set of LED taillights finished off in red, and they also have a smoked out housing. I love how they lead their way into the side profile and into this rear liftgate. In the center, we have another Nissan badge with some more black trim, and then Pathfinder's written out in the entire center. Down below, we have your electronic button to open up the rear liftgate, and then more plastic trim in the rear portion of this bumper. You get 4 parking sensors back here, and then mud flaps behind the rear tires, and then some more really smooth lines all the way leading up to the rear-mounted spoiler. So there's a good look at the exterior with the all-new Nissan Pathfinder. Comment below, what do you guys think of this SUV? It's got a lot of sharp lines, and yet it looks pretty rugged as well. We have Nissan's key fob, very simple for this trim level. We have a lock button up top, but it does have some cool technology. Keeping the key fob in my pocket, I can just grab the door handle, it'll automatically unlock, and we can check out this interior. This Pathfinder gets a black interior, and you're gonna see some smooth black leather on the top portion of this door panel with white stitching. Then we also get quite a lot of padding down here for your armrests. We have your grab handle as well as all of the window controls and mirror controls, and then quite a lot of storage space down below. And then moving our way inside, we have plastic along the door sill, and then all of your manual controls for the driver's seat. I really like this fabric design though. We get a cool stitching design pattern down below, smooth fabric up front, and then a really cool diamond pattern with contrast stitching. You can see how the bolsters look. Really cool looking seats for sure. Then we even get the white stitching up top. Spinning around to this steering wheel wrapped in a black color with some silver trim. And then now inside the Pathfinder, if I just keep my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. You can see the analog tack over on the left with your engine temperature, and then your speedometer and fuel level to the right side. And then right in the center, we get a digital readout. You can control that using the controls on the left side of the screen. So if I go ahead and just hit the back button now, you can see your digital speedometer. And then scrolling over, we have more information that'll come up for trip info, and we can easily scroll up and down and see more things within each page. I can continue over to see some more information, as well as audio. We have some safety settings, and then settings overall. Moving to the steering wheel now, you can see all those controls with your volume control, as well as your track. And then we have cruise control settings over on the right side with some Bluetooth controls. We even get a set of steering wheel mounted paddle shifters that have a pretty cool look and feel to them, and definitely a nice touch for an SUV. On the left side, we have your turn signal stock and all your headlights. And then we have all the windshield wiper controls to the right side. On the left of the steering wheel now, we have controls for the interior lighting, one of your air vents, that same leather trim with the stitching, and then black across all the dashboard. Over on the right side, you also get more of that leather and stitching, which definitely gives us a nice premium feeling. And then moving to the center screen right now for all of your infotainment, pretty simple to use. You can see we're on the Sirius setting right now. We have phone integration that'll come up. You can control that. AM, FM radio, Bluetooth, and then we can go under your settings icon over on this far right side and see a lot of the different informations that will come up in this car. It's all touchscreen, of course. We have your rear view camera. You can set up a lot of the different settings. Then if we go ahead and take the car and put it into reverse, we can check out the camera. It comes up with some nice guidelines on it, and then your parking sensors come up in the center screen. If we go ahead and hit the P button, we'll put this thing back into park. And then beneath the screen, we have more controls for audio and Bluetooth. We even have a shortcut right there for your main menu. So I like how simple everything is, definitely very easy to use. We have two of your air vents as well as your hazard, and then all of your climate controls are down below. You can see we have the dual zone temperature. You can control this very easily. Fan speed is right in the center, and I really like how it gets its own LCD screen. We have recirc, defrost, and things like that. And then down below, we have a little bit of storage as well as some USB ports and a 12 volt. A really good look at the shifter. We have the engine start stop feature and electronic parking brake. And then your drive modes right here, you can toggle this up and down. Taking a look at that on the screen, we have quite a few different modes from snow to eco, a normal mode, sport, and then even a tow mode. So that is a great touch for this car. We also have two cup holders on the right and then a little bit of storage. We get more of that leather and stitching all throughout this center, which has a really nice design, and then even Pathfinder is written in this front part. If I open up this, we have a pretty good amount of storage space in the center console. Then if we go over to the glove box, I can pull this handle, and we have a nice size bucket in here. And even with that closed, we have a really good little shelf, and it even says Pathfinder over on that right side. And then another look at the interior. Very simply, the way everything is laid out. Good use of materials, and especially at this price point for being more of a base model, I think you get quite a lot of interior tech. And then moving to the rear seat space, I can go ahead and open up the door. Along this rear door panel, we get some extra storage in it, and then even two cup holders. Moving inside, we have more manual controls for all of the rear seat controls, then a button right here that you can press, and it's going to automatically get this up and out of the way, which is great for entering the third row. There's also some amenities back here like storage net behind the front seats, and then we get all of your climate controls with fan speed and temperature, and then USB ports down below. So then sitting in the back seat now with the 22 Nissan Pathfinder, this is pretty comfortable back here, and I just noticed we even have an air vent up here with a light and then a grab handle. So that is a really nice touch for a family-friendly SUV. The armrest is pretty large, so it's really comfortable sitting back here. And then I have the recline lever. It can go pretty far straight up, and then it can recline quite a lot. You can see the difference comparing it to that side. So pretty comfortable if you're gonna be back here on a long road trip or something. And then we even have a bar down here. We can slide this front and back. So I'm 5'11" sitting back here. It's definitely a lot of room. And then quite a lot of knee room up front with the seat set at my height. And then moving on to the third row, you also get air vents up top here, and then two cup holders and a little bit of an armrest. So it's pretty decent back here. This isn't the crazy biggest third row vehicle. Of course, an Armada is going to do a better job, but sitting back here, I still get some room. And then if we grab this seat, I can slide it back and put it back to where it was. I am a little bit cramped. My knees are definitely squished against the seat in front of me, but in a pinch, you do have 3 seats back here, making this a very practical car for a lot of people. And you even get a button you can press to get that out of the way. And then onto the cargo area, I can grab the handle under here, unlock that, and manually swing open this gate. So with the third row in place, we still do get quite a lot of storage space. This is about 2 feet back here, so you could probably fit 2 golf bags or something. If we take a look at the center, we can lift this up and we have a ton of under storage space underneath this piece. So that is a really cool hidden area. The headrests are all folded down now, and we do have the recline lever over here that you can press, and you can see how these all move. So really cool the way everything's set up. We have a handle right here to lift this up when it's down, but we can go ahead and manually fold these down and get them out of the way. And you can see you have a lot more storage space now that those seats are folded down. And then with the second row folded down flat, you can see just how much more storage space we have in the back of a Pathfinder. See how everything is. You can definitely fit a lot of large items in here. Very flat load floor for everything, and then even a ton of space up in front. All right, so we are in the all-new Nissan Pathfinder. Go ahead and put it into drive. We'll start off by just kind of testing out some slow speed driving. So the front wheel drive, really tight turning radius. Backup camera and parking sensors all come up super quickly and very easy. And I like this shifter, it's really compact and just a cool way to use it. So as far as visibility, just in this parking lot, huge windshield, I can see the whole hood. These are pretty angled, which means that you actually have a really good view out. I can see this area right here, there's no pillar in the way. So I think that's a pretty cool way to just kind of amplify the visibility. Over my left and right shoulder, looking at the glass, and then all the way around, you have a lot of glass back there on the left and right side. And over the left, there's pretty much no blind spot. So really easy vehicle to kind of get used to. Getting up to some speed now, letting the V6 do its thing. Very peppy. Wow, that's up to 40 miles an hour without really thinking. So I like how you get a solid engine for this car. You know, a lot of SUVs like this might have just a small 4-cylinder or something, so it's nice to see that this car has something pretty adequately powered. As far as the comfort level go, you have a really large armrest, headrest is in a nice place, and it's a pretty comfortable seat. There's a lot of padding in it. The headrest itself is a little hard, I would say, but if you move that up a little bit, that helps just a little bit. Overall ride quality and things like that, we're on a pretty bumpy road. We should have a smoother road coming up. You can feel the bumps a little bit, but going 40 miles an hour, it's pretty quiet overall. Don't really hear too much wind noise or road noise or anything like that. So it seems pretty nice, and I like how much room there is in this thing. You have, like I said, good armrests and everything, a lot of storage, you have a lot of maneuverability for the driver's seat as well as this front passenger seat. And then in the back, you can fit 6 people back there. A little tight in the third row, but it is pretty usable. So for a family SUV, this is definitely something with a lot of space. And then we'll go ahead and get back up to speed now. Brakes are nice and sensitive as well, so give it some gas. So half throttle, the 9-speed really delivers the power really well. I like how with all that many gears and the power level and things like that, it's going to utilize the power to where you're never really going to have flat spots or anything with the engine. So I like how they've given you a good modern transmission. So if we get back and go, very smooth power delivery. You don't really feel any gear changes. And taking some sharper turns, this feels like a pretty solid SUV. There's not really any body roll. I would say the suspension might be a little bit stiffer than some competitors, but that makes it to where there's less body roll in it. Taking these harder turns at 50 miles an hour and even doing that, much less body roll than I've experienced in other SUVs. So I think that's a pretty good selling point for this SUV. Just gives it a solid feeling. And then we have the technology, you know, like the lane keeping assist. When I get over the line, it vibrates the steering wheel a little bit. So from 45 miles an hour, if I give it, hit the brakes a little bit harder, they do a really good job. So for the weight of this and everything, I think it's adequately balanced to get you plenty of power and then also stop really well. And pulling back into the dealership now. Yeah, not really much to complain about with this. I think if you're looking for a really well-priced family SUV, the new Pathfinder is definitely something to look at. The way all the interior works and everything, it's really simple to get used to. This is the first time actually me driving any Pathfinders. I'm only used to the Nissan sports cars that I own, but I like how with this SUV, you kind of get just a good basic SUV. There's nothing crazy about this trim level. It's not a fully loaded one or anything like that. It's more of a base model. But you kind of just get what you want for a comfortable, nice SUV that can fit a lot of things in it and is really easy to drive, easy to use, pretty good use of materials. You know, we do have a rubber steering wheel and quite a lot of plastics on the interior, but given the trim level, given the price point, that makes a lot of sense. So I think that is then about it for the 2022 Nissan Pathfinder. This is the all new generation, so really cool styles in the exterior as well as the interior. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content to come, and then huge shout out and thank you once again to Flo Nissan of Statesville for providing this Nissan for today's video. Definitely check out their website. So that is it for today's video. I will see you guys in the next video.